1 Timothy 1 verse 5. Now the end of the commandment is charity. Continuing from what was previously mentioned, one day, the congregation grew to about 10 or 20 people, and we started to form the outline of a small church. As a result, I positioned myself as a layperson, aiming to be an example to all of you. I will never be as domineering as Chan Kung-jin or as weak and incapable as Gideon. I also won't be like some pastors who only know how to talk without substance. Instead, I will share with you the truths I have come to know as a layperson. Throughout this process, we will not be like Truth Church, where everyone is divided and unwilling to submit to one another. The people who came out of Truth Church rebelled against Chan Kung-jin but did not realize they were not worthy of doing so. They possess a pride that surpasses their true essence, preventing anyone from teaching them, not even one person. If you try to compete with them, they will not yield to you because your intentions are rooted in rivalry. Therefore, you must become powerful beyond their imagination for them to submit to you. Only after I established a church with over 1,000 people did a small fraction sporadically join Zion. However, they remained arrogant. These types of people are usually unredeemable. I know they can only wait to die in their faith because as they age and experience bodily changes, they are likely to stumble in matters of morality. Thus, I won't waste my time on them. However, I will continue to observe and understand these people and situations from a distance. Throughout this process, when I started these works, I did them according to my own character. Thus, since establishing Zion, I have embarked on a path that forces me to share information and create poems. These works suddenly lay before me, compelling me to do so. Initially, when I was just a layperson, I thought the songs available in the market were decent. But when I became a leader, I realized more deeply how shameless those Balaams who composed the songs truly were. I used to enjoy listening to their songs, but later on, I discovered how their character deteriorated even further. I knew that this couldn't continue. Therefore, our church had to create our own songs because I refused to sing their songs. So, I was forced into this situation, and everything was done by my character and morals. This stemmed from my integration into a community where I observed the various personalities of different people, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. As a result, I gradually established my own role. This also became a valuable experience for me, as during the establishment of Zion, I gradually realized that certain individuals were useless. I won't invest too much time in them, nor will I exhaust myself like Gideon did in trying to help them. On the contrary, I immediately categorize everyone, as I have limited human resources, material resources, and time. This approach is derived from my understanding gained through observation. During the establishment of Zion, would effectively set up mirrors around me, understanding that these mirrors can only have a certain level of impact. However, I still value these mirrors and learn to interact with them with a good attitude and approach. As I mentioned earlier in my earlier years, every Sunday, after I stepped down from the stage, I would invite Nehemiah and Joseph to evaluate my preaching, making them my mirrors. During this process, I didn't remain loyal to my pre-Christian character but saw what kind of character this group needed. I also considered whether my joining could bring about improvement. There was a time when I spent some time studying the Bible with 30 or 40 Christians from Truth Church. Still, I eventually realized it was not productive. Initially, I was able to help them, but later on, I discovered that it actually harmed them. After teaching them the truth, they became even more arrogant, which was even worse. I understood the severity of the situation because they did not understand the importance of character. Seeing them become increasingly arrogant made me uneasy, and I could not continue assisting them in Bible study. Otherwise, they would become incredibly proud. Therefore, I preferred to shepherd a group of new believers and avoid any further contact with them to prevent them from coming to Zion and potentially ruining the church. It wasn't until our church grew to 1,000 people that they gradually started transferring over, and only then did I resume helping them. However, their arrogance was too excessive, and in the end, they all left the church for various reasons. In summary, they have an inflated sense of self-importance and always find fault in everything without knowing how to conduct themselves appropriately. Yet, they criticize the church everywhere, which is genuinely foolish. As I mentioned, some people lack mirrors and fail to appreciate their value, and that's where the problem arises. Therefore, during the establishment of the church, I instinctively placed great importance on creating mirrors that reflected my relationships with others. I also knew that these mirrors could only reflect a particular perspective. Still, others could provide a more comprehensive view that the mirrors couldn't capture. In this way, I gradually understood each person's unique contributions to my life. It was through this process that I grew over the years. In other words, character and morals are indicators that we need to observe and evaluate as we go through the growth process. Indeed, I have encountered people with different characters, including the 4 archetypes. Within each archetype, there are both the most outstanding individuals and the least desirable ones. What matters most to me is the facade they present and the outcomes these individuals bring to themselves and the community. I aim to understand new outcomes created when a person with a specific character integrates into a group. What new results will he produce? After all, every group is like a school of fish in the sea, forming a spinning ball. In reality, when individuals come together, this spinning motion occurs naturally. In other words, they influence a small group within the larger community while being influenced by the overall atmosphere of the group, allowing them to thrive. The only one capable of influencing the entire group is the bright light in the middle. As you lead in different directions, you are also led by the collective. This requires a wise interplay of mutual influence. However, in Zion, I discovered that the Word of God is the true bright light that guides the group forward. Yet, when I look at churches worldwide, I have never seen one that can achieve this. 1 Timothy 1 verse 5. Now the end of the commandment is charity.
I'm ready to go that extra mile, confronting the darkness with a smile. Because of your grace, passion for free, high on the cross, you ransomed me. I'm offering everything I own, relinquishing all of my control. I'm ready to go that extra mile, confronting the darkness with a smile. Because of your grace, passion for free, high on the cross, you ransomed me. I'm offering everything I own, relinquishing all of my control. No matter the day, no matter the place, I'm ready to go.